Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Hi, I'm working with a new boss at the moment and I'm pretty sure she hates me. She doesn't take any of my ideas forward and shuts me down openly in meetings. The girls in work think it's because I am dating a girl I was dating a guy she is now with, so she is threatened by me. I love my job and I do not like confrontation. Any advice to what to do here? I'm stuck for ideas and I know it sounds ridiculous, but I've never been openly hated upon like this. I'm not sure how to act. Thanks as always.
She definitely is getting hated upon because she's dating the boss's ex.
I don't get that though. Like, was it fucking...
Just because that's too close for home for some people, isn't it? That I 100%.
No, wait, isn't the boss... Sorry, I read that. Isn't the boss dating her ex?
I don't know.
So I read that because I'm out of it. Maybe Jamie should read them today. Yeah, I was dating a guy she is now dating. So the boss is dating her ex, yeah.
Yeah, so the boss is dating her ex, yeah, so that's even worse because she thinks that this guy she had her guy first. So there's like an instant jealousy there.
It's so petty,
and for anyone that's slightly petty, they're going to be straight on that.
Yeah, because it's not like she was like, "Oh, here's my ex, you should date each other," or like I bet she was going out with him for a while before he somehow found out.
Yeah, it'd be totally independent of each other, I can imagine. Small world, isn't it? That's how mental people are nowadays.
Especially the boss as well. Like, you think it would be... If anything, the boss should be going up to her and being like, "Oh, I hope it's not awkward, but I found out that my partner is your ex. I hope that doesn't affect our job relationship." And this one would be like, "Oh, no, of course it doesn't. It was blah, blah, go right ahead. It's not a..."
All they just do this, Dan, is don't mention it. It doesn't need to... It don't need to be fucking talked about whatsoever until you're at like a fucking function together where you've got your partners. There's no reason at all for it to be mentioned at all. Do you know what I mean? Not unless you've got a baby with that fucking person or something. There's no connection. Like, that isn't... Like, if I was to avoid every street that in Luton that I have an ex on, I'd be taking Charlotte around the fucking like weirdest ways round places just to avoid exes. That is fucking mental to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you get into like a proper relationship, it doesn't matter who you're ex and that are.
No. The only thing is if there's like kids involved and shit, which there isn't, so it doesn't matter. The only thing I feel sorry for this girl is that the person that's making her life difficult is her boss. It's not like it's just someone on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to play it out. But if you feel genuinely like you're getting beaten up on because of this reason, I would either have it out with her in a controlled situation where there's a witness there, or go to HR and just say, "I'm being made to feel uncomfortable."
Yeah.
There's only two ways around it. If you don't challenge her, she will just get worse and worse.
I would just be extra petty and be like, as she's speaking, be like, "Oh, that's where Bob took us on our second anniversary. Oh, I wore that sort of dress on the first date I went out with Billy Bob. Oh, like, just, oh, isn't his favourite dessert this?" Or not, bring it into work and give it to everyone. Just be like extra petty back.
What you could do is on your next presentation that you've got to do at work, just have your background saved as an old picture of you and your ex, and just be like, "Oh, sorry, wrong slide," and just move on to the next. I
haven't got over him yet.
No. Or put even better, a picture of her and the ex-boyfriend with him like the current relationship, put a picture of them two and cross out her eyes like a fucking psychopath. Then she'll think you're mental and she'll leave you alone then.
Actually, yeah, I kind of like that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
like make her think that you're fucking nuts.
Yeah. Nah, but the best way to play it, really, if it was me, which this is advice I've given to anyone that doesn't like you at work, there's a person at work that I really don't like at the minute, and the best way to deal with them is to kill them with kindness. Do everything so nicely and smiley at them, and just absolutely give them no way that it can be horrible if you just stand there and go, it's okay, yeah, no problem, I'll do that. And then really, you want to stab them in the face. That's the
Yeah, I
best way
think
to deal with them.
when it comes to a boss, like being like matching their energy towards back to them, they are able and probably hoping that you do something stupid that they can get rid of you.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible, and they shouldn't. People like that shouldn't be in management, but most people like that do get into management. Yeah, so yeah, killing with kindness is always the. I usually do that just to get people away from me. It's much easier just to agree and then they leave than to try and have a conversation or anything like that and just get them the fuck off.
I was having an issue with a person for a long time, with a guy for a long time, and it ended up being if I was going to say anything, it would come out negative. So I just didn't say anything, and anything that was said, I would say it overly nice, and then I could never have anything come back on me. But then they still knew that I had no time for them as well because I wasn't talking to them small talk,
Mm.
and
I hate
that gives
small talk
enough
anyway.
that gives enough for someone to feel uncomfortable in your presence, but not uncomfortable enough they can say you're doing something wrong.
That's what I do to the trainees that come up to train with me at work. One guy saying that I had him for a week. He was actually the one that I've actually trained the most passive aggressively. And he was being taken to the other factory and he came up and he was like, Dan? And I was like, yeah. And he shook my hand. And I'm like, why are you shaking my hand? He goes, I just want to say thanks, I'm leaving. I'm like, oh, well, good luck then. And then he walked away and I thought to myself, that was nice of him. But did I show it? Did I fuck? Don't want no word in the other factory that they're going to come and be like, oh, there's this nice English man that will train you whenever you fucking want. Fuck off. It's not happening. Yeah, I would speak to her. I mean, it's such a petty fucking thing to do. But, like, I know you don't like the confrontation stuff like that, but she might have the wrong end. Like, you don't know what he said to her or stuff like that. So the first port of call, if it really is bothering you, I would say speak to her before going to, because like HR would just escalate her pettiness if you're going over her head and shit.
HR could also make it worse in ways that, because they're trying to please both sides, you could end up getting sacked yourself.
Well, I wouldn't. Oh yeah, that's a very like last resort. I don't think they would go that far, but talking to her is probably the best option just to find out exactly why and what's going on, and then she knows then that you've clocked onto her being aggressive to you, and everyone else knows.
Mm.
But if you don't want to deal with it, then the kindest thing is there. Like at the end of the day, you're there to do your job. As long as you do your job, then what's it fucking matter what she thinks, and just go home and not think about her.
Yeah.
And just post pictures of his knob or something all over the internet.
Poor guy doesn't even know he's in the middle of something.
Nope.
None the wiser.
That's what you get though when you get these overly petty misses, though, don't you?